This recording is now showing how we actually perform the processing, the initialization of some of the archive files we have created. For simplicity, we will just do the initialization on the session we created earlier. So the initialization can be performed out of two ways. The first way is to do the initialization directly from the catalog. Once I'm in the catalog, in this case, you see there are already two sessions in the catalog. But if I would like to do initialization, I just have the button here. And this is especially convenient for testing purposes on smaller sessions. I can go in here and call the initialization for the session we have earlier created. So it's very simple. We would just specify the session number. We had 1637 and we use the FI document. So, so this is the way of how to do this directly out of the catalog. The alternative way, which we would use, would be to run it via a background job or schedule a background job. The appropriate transaction for that would be ACDAILM. And if you can see, the interface is essentially very similar. We just specify the session start, session end, and the archive object. And in this case, we turn on the initialization radio button. So equivalent processing, for simplicity, it's running out of the catalog. Once we run this, we get the session now new in the catalog, and you can scroll to the right. What we have essentially, many dates are determined based on the analysis, as well as indication if there are attachments for archive link, attachments for SAP Office. One easy way to look at all of this is to select the line and press the details button. When I press the details button, I essentially get all of the information which were extracted during the analysis. And one of the most important things, of course, is the determination of when I'm supposed to be able to delete that. So you see, the soft purge start date is the date which reflects that fact. And if you can see, because we're already in 2017, this file could have been deleted already 5 years ago based on the retention settings. If you can see here on this line, the retention set or retention rule determined was US. And if I go back to the retention modeling, what we basically determined is for the US FI, we have 7 years as retention. So in this detail, we basically can now look at the highest date, which is we also refer to as a retention start date, a date which we did specify to be the retention start date, and we investigated each record in the archive file to find the highest date, and that is the basis for us to say that we add the 7 years and then we derive at the date when we can actually purge that. So that basically was evaluated, as we have the information that we have 12 objects in this file, attachment counts, 1 archive link, as you remember from session 1, 2 SAP Office attachments, and we have also some other ILM information like the archive session which is important to see. So in this case, we know now that this file should have been deleted, and all of our information is essentially available in the catalog, and also the archive session node is available in here. One last aspect to actually what I would like also to show is that you have the information about any relevant indexes. So if I scroll here to the side, so we have the idea that we have the attachments, but as well as the indexes. So we see that the index is filled, and we can actually verify that by going to transaction SARI and press the status button, and we say per archive, and as you can see, for 1637 the SARI index is filled. That's why we have that information. This is very important because during the deletion we have to make sure that not only attachments are deleted but also the relevant indexes, and we also have the ability to turn on the processing of the recognition of PBS indexes, the ADK now. Okay, so this is pretty much the initialization process to do an analysis and creating in the catalog all information lifecycle relevant retention information.